911, what is the location of your emergency?
Units have started an incomplete call. Call taker heard. Caller yelling for help. Unknown circumstances.
Take a deep breath for me, okay? Help is on the way.
1 Charles 35, I copy. Units to start code 3 to 1 Charles 35. Sergeant to copy. Papers for you.
You're listening to the Raspy Dispatcher. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Raspy Dispatcher. As DJ Khaled most often says, this is another video added to our Dispatch Recruit series where we cover everything and anything there is to know about what the steps and what you need to do to become a dispatcher. If it sounds like you're in the right place, hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So far, I've loved talking to you guys, reading the comments, engaging with you about these videos. I do read them. I do try to respond to you as quickly as possible with the most informative information I have. Now, if you are looking for some specific type of question to be answered, specific information, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I do read it and I do look for what you guys are looking for in order to make more videos for you. Or if you're just looking for someone to give you a pat on the back, some words of encouragement leading up into some big interview, a big critical test, anything of that nature, you can throw that in the comment section as well. We're here to build community for dispatchers. So thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into this next video. Now, I know that Criticall is a big question that you guys ask often. Today, we're going to talk specifically about the Criticall test format, the sections that you are going to be tested on, how to pass, or the minimum passing on these sections. Now, if you are already very familiar with the Criticall test and you're just looking to prepare for it, we have another video, Criticall Test Prep Guide, in this playlist. So go ahead and check that out. So again, Criticall, as you may already know, is an aptitude test that is presented to candidates who are looking to become dispatchers. Now, what the test does is it analyzes that candidate's basic skills. Do they have the basic skills necessary in order to succeed at the job as a dispatcher? Now, what that means is that you don't need any experience as a dispatcher prior to taking the Criticall test in order to be successful. Again, none, zero, nada, no experience needed to be able to dominate this Criticall test. Just need to be able to prove that you have the basic skills. So what skills are they going to be testing? Now, the test itself is divided into 10 sections. Each section requires that you pass the minimum score, whether it's your percentage, a key per minute, key per hour, or words per minute. You have to pass each individual section. The score won't be averaged out. If you fail one section, you're going to fail the whole test. You have to pass each at the minimum score. So I whipped out my results from the Criticall test in the research for this video. And what I found from what I was looking at on the internet to looking at my results is that the minimum passing might differ per agency. With that being said, I'm going to give you the general rules, but it's really important if you want a really good understanding of what the minimum is for the test you're taking to talk to the department and ask them what the minimum scores are for their test. So let's go ahead and get into these test sections. The first section is decision making. This is based on a percentage. You have to meet that certain percentage in order to pass this section. Typically, the percents are 70% minimum. The second section is keyboarding. Words per minute is how you pass this. Typically, anywhere from 40 to 50 to 60 words per minute tends to be the generic range in order to pass this section. The next section is data entry with multitasking. From looking at my test and the tests that I've seen online, this section is scored one of two ways: keys per minute or keys per hour. You have to meet a certain number of keys per minute or per hour during this section of the test in order to pass. The next section, data entry with multitasking audio. So a big part of being a dispatcher is being able to hear and type. So they're going to test that as well while you are multitasking. This section as well is scored either keys per minute or keys per hour. The next section, call summarization with multitasking. They're going to continue to make you multitask, change what you're doing after doing something else to see that ability. The call summarization section is scored on a percent. Again, typically 70% is the minimum, but make sure to ask your department where you're testing for if they'll disclose the minimum passing for you. There's reading comprehension, which is a percentage, sentence clarity, and spelling, percentages as well. Two separate sections, sentence clarity followed by spelling. These are the last two sections that I have found from reading the comments you guys leave have the most issues with. Map reading as well as memory recall numeric audio. Both of these sections are passed with a percentage. Both of these sections are really important to be able to do this job. When you think about hearing numbers and remembering them, you're thinking about license plates, driver's license, things of that nature. Map reading, you have to be able to have basic map reading skills to be able to be taught more complicated ways of using a map. So those are the 10 sections. Again, either scored by percentage, keys per minute, keys per hour, or words per minute. So again, I'll say it probably multiple times throughout this video. Make sure you talk to your department to see what the minimum standards are for the test you're going to take. Now, each one of these sections are going to test your abilities to be able to do this job, from multitasking to audio to entering calls, and it's all going to be done in a simulated environment. It's going to give you a fake little CAD software program. We're going to have to enter things, listen, hit a button at the same time as you're typing. So it can be a little stressful when you're thinking about it, but if you prepare, if you go in there knowing what you're going to be looking at, what you're going to be expecting, you're going to be set up to dominate this test. So I'm just going to kind of highlight each section and give you a little advice of what that section is going to entail. So data entry and multitasking. You will be given addresses, phone numbers, street numbers, names, dates, etc. Anything you can think of. And you're going to get that information both written and by audio. And it's going to be your job to transfer that information into the correct fields in that simulated environment we talked about. While doing that, you're also going to be required to respond to decision-making questions, such as if to send fire, police, medical, or utility to a certain type of call. While receiving that information, either written or by audio, you're going to be given another scenario, and you're going to need to decide which service to send while still being able to get this information inputted. This is really going to be able to test one's ability to make quick decisions under pressure, and more importantly, the right decision. So the character comparison, there's a character comparison type section where you may be presented with two different tables that both have similar information yet different. Questions can be presented asking you to identify the differences in those two scenarios. Now, decision making is huge, and if you understand what Criticall is asking you to do before going into this test, it's going to help you tremendously. So as I said earlier, you're going to be presented with questions asking the dispatcher to dispatch the proper service to a certain type of call. This is where it's important to have that clear understanding of what situations Criticall considers a certain service is needed for. We go into depth about this topic in Criticall Test Prep Guide. So if you're looking for an extended video or extended portion of a video about this section, head over to that after this video so you can get that information. But in a broad stroke, you're going to have to decide if police are the proper ones to respond, if utilities are the proper ones to respond, fire department is the proper ones to respond, or if medical help is proper to send. So memory recall. Half the battle of being a dispatcher is being able to hear and type. So you're not going to be excellent at this when you first start this process. Trust me, you won't. But You have to be able to have the basic skills to hear something and be able to transfer it onto the software program in the simulated environment. So practicing that will really help you going into this test. Map reading. Map reading is huge, and I hear you guys asking for ways to prepare for the map portion. So I did make a video in regards to map prep for the Criticall test. So because of the questions you guys asked, because of the comments you left, I created that video. So please, if you have a burning question that you're looking for an answer, leave it in the comments. I do read them, and I do consider video topics after reading. So again, if you're looking for specific instruction on how to prep for the map portion of the Criticall test, head over to that video. So the next section is call summarization. Being able to listen or read a call, a scenario that is presented to you, and summarize it simply with the facts and in the proper sections. Being able to do that is really important. So you want to really focus on the basics. Where is it occurring? Who is it occurring to? What is occurring? When did it occur? And are there any weapons? Then, of course, as talked about earlier, we got your school basics, spelling, sentence clarity, reading comprehension. I'm not going to go into that because we've all, our entire lives, been tested on that stuff. So it's simple. It's the basics. Because we've all experienced those type of tests. I'm not going to go into it. But know that they're going to be giving you situations to test that as well. So there you have it, folks. That is Criticall's test format. And like I said, we have a couple other videos deep diving into Criticall. If you haven't checked them out yet, questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section. I do read them. I do respond to them. I look forward to talking to you guys soon and getting more videos out there that you are wanting to watch. Of course, if you've stayed this long and you haven't hit subscribe yet, don't forget, don't miss out on the next videos we have up and coming. Tell a friend, like this video, and we'll see you next time. So thanks for listening. Don't want to miss any upcoming episodes? Go ahead and subscribe wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. And if you really enjoy the show, drop a 5-star rating and tell a friend. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at The Raspy Dispatcher, and of course, theraspydispatcher.com. Control, this is The Raspy Dispatcher. Show me 908. Log it off for now.